Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Bite Podcast with Raven and Ree. I'm your host, Raven.
I'm your host, Ree.
Welcome if you are new here. I mean, yeah, just in case you didn't know who we are, but we've gotten like a little surge of new followers and new listeners. So welcome here. For those of you that have been here, hey y'all.
Hey, welcome back.
We've been really terrible with our recording schedule. Part of it is because I think we said this at the last episode was this is like the first year that we're like doing the podcast while I'm like actively in school, because last year we were like in COVID. So, oh, I think you were frozen for a little bit, but I think we're fine.
There we go.
Um, but yeah, so this is like the first year, so trying to navigate through that is very interesting. But actually, the reason that this podcast is late is not because you like a scheduling issue. Well, yes, it was a scheduling issue, but it was for a Twilight related scheduling issue. So for those of you that don't know, we are friends with Samantha Rose Baldwin, of also known as just Bella Swan on Instagram. She is like, well, I don't want to say she's the official Bella cosplayer, but to me, in my mind, she's the official Bella cosplayer because
Yeah.
she's just like amazing, and she's like, to me, she's like the official Twilight cosplayer because she has done
She's
every, yeah, she's done everyone I can imagine in the Twilight saga. Like, she's just amazing. And she hosted a fake wedding. But not just like, a fake wedding for funsies, but it was like a replica of the the Edward and Bella wedding. And it looked,
It looked just like it. I
it
saw the
looked
videos and pictures. I was like, that's the movie set right there.
no, it was literally crazy. If you guys want to go see more of that, you can go look on my TikTok at Raven and Woods. I posted like one clip. I think our friend Mare has like a longer version of it. Because everyone was making TikToks and I was like, y'all, I didn't even record for a TikTok. So I just did like the two clips that I had did, and it was just like POV, you're at Bella and Edward's wedding. And then but Mare made a little bit of a longer video, which got like over 8 million views or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I saw it when it hit like a million likes, and I didn't even realize it was Mare's video at first. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it like literally went crazy. So maybe you've seen that on TikTok, but yeah, that is the wedding I was at, and it was like amazing. And the wedding was great. It was obviously a wedding for content for the creators. So, they took their pictures. They did a couple of runs, but it was so beautiful because the first time that they did a run through, they did it like it was an actual wedding. They didn't say like, okay, guys, we're gonna begin. They kind of just like did it like a real wedding, and it was like really crazy and surreal. And Meg, who also is a cosplayer, she was cosplaying someone from the Denali Coven. I think Irina.
Oh,
I think she was cosplaying Irina. Um, she was sobbing after that first run through, and it was just like,
oh,
oh, it was
I
so,
love Meg.
yeah, it was so amazing. Like, it was literally so surreal. And then just seeing Sam in the beautiful dress, and it was like the literally like a handmade replica dress of Bella's dress. It was just, if you guys want to go see more pictures, you can always go to at just Bella Swan on Instagram, and she's posting stuff. She's also gonna post, like the actual like video that they're recording, because they did record like a, I guess, like basically like a scene by scene of like what they filmed, and it was crazy. It was really cold. It
I can
was,
imagine.
yeah, it was very cold. It was probably that day was probably like high 40s, low 50s, maybe low to
Yes.
mid 50s at like, so it wasn't too terrible, and it kind of after a while you were kind of used to it. Um, so the that part wasn't too terrible, except for like some of the other. I had like leggings under my dress, and I was wearing like like sandals, and then I had like nothing up here. So like I was a little cold, but my feet were like the worst. And then it started to rain a little bit, but towards
Oh,
the end, and that's when it got really cold, and we were like, okay, so they let us go. And I think we had like 2 hours for the reception. So we kind of just hung out, chilled, and kind of like just did that um for those 2 hours. And we went to the reception, and by the nighttime it had got so windy and so cold that the tent that they had set up actually was like falling over because of how windy it was.
oh
So
gosh.
yeah, so they had to kind of improvise and move everything inside for the reception. And they still recorded and got what they needed. So
What
it yeah, it didn't go exactly, I guess, how they planned it, but I mean, it got done, and we ate food, and it was great.
That's
And
good.
then we spent all day Sunday just in Forks, which was, it's Forks. It's just like a great time, like
Yeah.
it was Kristen, our friend Kristen, that was her first time going there. And so she wanted to do the touristy thing. So we went to the sign, and we went to one sign. I'm trying, no, first we went to La Push, because over there the sun sets at like 4:30 p.m. So
Oh
we
yeah,
were,
well, because of time change.
yeah, so I know right now the time changed, but I guess on a normal it was like setting at like 6, almost 6-ish, right? Kind of over there.
Yeah, I remember back in September, sunset was like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah. And so right now it's like 4:30. And so we were like, well, we wanted to take her to La Push before anything, so that, she could see that. And on the way back, we were going to stop at the sign going into Forks from La Push, and then go to the visitor center. So we went down to La Push, super cold. Like the water and the wind just made it worse. And so we were like, let's just be here, take our pictures, and like we gotta go because it was cold. We stopped at the treaty line and did like all that stuff and took tons of cute pictures. So we like stopped at the treaty line, and it was raining, like actively raining. So we're like soaked. It wasn't that cold when we were like just there, like at the treaty line, but when you got down to the push, it was
Because of
like,
the wind.
yeah, the wind made it colder. And that was, I mean, but it was just so beautiful. It was like so pretty. I just like loved it so much. After that, we went to the sign, and then it started pouring rain. So we like got down, and we went and took our pictures like really quickly, got back in the car, and we were like, well, you know what, there's another sign by the visitor center. We can go inside to that little gift shop that they have, kind of like look in there, and then take pictures with the truck. So we got there, and we were like, okay, let's go inside so that we can kind of like chill out, not be
Was it
outside for too long.
was it
So we were
closed?
no, we went. We
Oh,
were there,
okay. I was like, oh, I would
but
hate for it
this
to
is
be closed.
this is the worst part, was that we thought last time Mayor Emily and I didn't get to do the nature trail, or that trail that's by the visitor center. And
Oh
so we
yeah.
were like, let's do the trail right now. So we start walking on the trail, and it's cold, but it's also raining. And walking on the trail is not the best idea when it's raining, because several parts of the trail were flooded.
Oh no.
And you know what? I think
I
it
know
was
what
like,
you're talking about because Kenzie Jazz and I went to that. Well, Kenzie Jazz, Crystal, and I, we went to that trail and we're like just in the beginning part. So I know what you're talking
oh,
about.
well, we did the whole trail.
You did the whole trail.
We did the whole
Oh
trail.
God.
We did it. We did not. I don't know why. Like we were walking, and the floor was a little muddy. It was like, okay, well, I think we'll go. And then we walk a little further, and it's like, oh, it was flooded. And it's like, God, we can just go around it. So we went around it, and we just kept pushing through. And so we walked the whole trail. There was a lot of times where we could get around the water, but towards the end there was we could not. So we were like walking in like ankle, like a little bit above our ankle deep water, and it was raining, so we're soaking wet.
There goes your
And
shoes.
yeah, our shoes were ruined. Like, I think the only one whose shoes were not ruined were was Emily because she was wearing like kind of like boots,
Mm.
and and it was just it was we were soaking wet by the end of it, but it was lots of fun. It was like like an experience. I can't wait to go back and do the trail when it's not raining.
I mean, if you have fun, then that's all that matters. The
No, yeah, it was
clothes, the shoes, those are replaceable.
yeah, it was a great time. And it was just I think at some point Kristen took her shoes off and was like,
Oh,
I don't know, she thought it would be better, but then I don't think it was. So I don't know. But I mean the trail's only 0.4 miles long. Like so it's not even like half a mile, but it was a nice it was great. And then we went back to the car, and then I think we took pictures in front of the trucks at that point, still soaking wet. And just we were like, oh well, like we're already wet, it doesn't matter. And we went
if we
back
get
to the
sick, who cares?
yeah, we went back to the Airbnb. And I think, what did we do after that? Um, I think that was it. I think that's all we did. And then we went back to the Airbnb and kind of like hung out. We got ready in our Volturi stuff because we wanted to like make videos and take pictures, and we just kind of like hung out the rest of the day. We went to that pizza place. Um, so yeah, it was lots of fun. So that was like a big reason why well, that was why we didn't record the last time we were supposed to, was because I was in Forks living my life.
That's a great excuse to not record, is if you're in Forks.
Yeah, it is. It was just I just love it there so much. I can't wait to go back. I know I'm gonna go stay at the Bella Swan House in June.
No.
So
You
I
guys
have
got it booked?
Emily did.
I was all like, last time I saw that place was booked for the whole next year.
Yeah, Emily, oh dogs incoming, so if they're here. Um, oh no. Jesus. Yeah, Emily booked it, and then they had space for two more people, and they invited me and Carlos. So we're going in June. I think they have it for like a whole week or something like that. Something crazy.
That's nice.
So we're gonna go see the Cullen house, hopefully. There's no cones
Keep the
up.
cones there.
I know. But I think it's down. So update on the Cullen house. I think the cone is not there. There's just a sign not to trespass onto their driveway.
Yeah, I thought I saw the other day a TikTok of someone who was like in front of the house, and like they were at the end of the driveway taking a video. So I was like, I didn't see no cone.
Yeah, I think the cone is no more, which is sad because I really wanted to take a picture with the cone. But
Take
I
it
guess
with the cone sticker.
I know that's what I wanted to do, but I don't think it's possible anymore to do that if the cone is not there. But let's see, Twilight related news. Taylor Lautner is engaged.
Taylor's engaged. Kristen's
Kristen's
engaged.
engaged. Yep.
People
I,
think Robert's engaged, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if him and Suki secretly eloped. He would be the person to do it.
yeah, I don't see him doing something huge, like a huge engagement. I also see him as the type of person who like maybe wouldn't get married. Like they would just be like lifelong partners, you know?
Yeah, I can see that
So
too.
because it's just I feel like Rob, like that gives me very like Rob energy. It's either like secretly have a wedding or like don't get married at all. I think it's like what
Yeah.
Rob, those are like his two vibes. Just like super chaotic, like don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have two. I mean, Jackson's married, and um Oh my God. Kellen is married.
Peter's
Ashley's married.
engaged.
Peter's engaged.
Nikki's married.
Nikki's
Elizabeth
married.
is living her best single life, from what I know.
Love that for her. That's so guys, the chances on trying to book a book a Colin, you have Elizabeth.
Yeah,
I would like to
Miss
think that the
Lisa.
one I would like to think the ones that are engaged are off market officially.
Yeah. I'm happy
So
for them though. I'm happy for Taylor and Kristen. But the thing is, so like Taylor's fiance is also named Taylor. So they're both gonna be Taylor Lautner.
just like it, like how when him and Taylor Swift were dating, they would
Oh
both
yeah.
be they would both have would have been Taylor Lautner. That's so weird that he dated someone who was like also Taylor.
I actually forget, okay, because I forget that the Taylor, like Taylor dated Taylor Swift. I like when I think of Taylor Swift's exes, I think of, like Harry and Jake and Tom, but
Yeah.
I don't think of Taylor. I
I
don't.
think I think it's because it was so
Brief.
to me it was like really random.
I just remember them in Valentine's Day,
I
that one
love that
scene.
movie.
I was like, oh, that one scene of them, and I was like, wait a damn minute.
Yeah, and you know what? I was thinking too, like, I miss having Taylor Lautner in movies. I wonder if
I
he's like retired, like if he's like unofficially retired or what is going on.
I
Because
mean, the last thing he did was Scream Queens, and that was a show, from what I
mhm.
know.
But I think I wonder if he's like given up or like what he I know I think he owns a winery or like a or something like that. Like I think I read that somewhere. But
Yeah.
Lord. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about before we get into our topic for today, are we talking about Jessica or the feminism in Twilight?
Um, I think we should go with feminism
Yeah, I
because
think so too.
we can touch on Jessica in that topic. We can get more into her character probably in another episode.
Yeah. So we all knew I think we had an episode where we talked about this about the new Twilight book covers. Yeah, so we did talk about we just talked about how Stephanie Meyer for like some kind of anniversary or something, whatever, decided to
Well,
there was something. It was like the anniversary of something
it
where
was
there
this
was
year, right?
it was this year. It was like not too long ago, like 2 months ago, I think, or 2 or 3 months ago. It was it before FTF? No, it was after
Yeah,
FTF.
it was before because I remember I was in the group chat when I think Riley sent the picture, or was it you who sent the pictures? I remember one of you guys sent the picture, and that's how.
Yeah, so I think it was before FTF then.
Yeah,
FTF, yeah, Stephanie Meyer released books. I don't know for what. It had to there had to have been some kind of unless she just like just is if she's just dropping stuff now without any significance, then she's going on
yeah,
I think she's going on a binge or something, but
yeah. Homegirl decided to just drop the paperbacks with new covers, and she also, I thought I saw it that because they were dropping Midnight Sun in that paperback, they were also going to make a white cover Midnight Sun within
yes.
the thing. And I'm
So
like, you
that
gotta
is
be
that
kidding
is
me.
that is what I wanted to talk about because I saw that she is now releasing a box set of the books. But I think it has every book in it. Where's my phone?
It actually makes me angry because I got my white set on sale and I was debating on getting it because I was like, wait a minute, I want to maybe, just maybe she'll come out with Midnight Sun in white. But then I was like, nah, she ain't gonna do it.
See,
But now she
I
is.
don't know if it's in white, but I do know that it is a box set. Where is my phone? Oh my goodness. So that's where I have the pictures of it. And I took a screenshot. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. Let me find this. because I could have sworn that I saw it and I was like, am I going crazy?
Yeah, get froze.
Huh?
You froze for a sec, but now I see ya.
Okay, okay. What would fickle? Where did I freaking see it? Because I could have sworn I saw it, and it was um like a
Oh,
box.
oh well, I found this one from August 10th on Books a Million. But that
But
one's just the regular box set.
I don't know where I saw it, and I don't think I have the screenshot, but I did see it. I'm not in case anyone's like, she's such a liar. No, I promise I saw it. I saw that she was releasing the box set with the books. I don't know if it was like how the white box set is, like with with all the four and then Bree Tanner and Midnight
Yeah.
Sun, or if it's just that. But the design on the box set was gonna be the new design.
Oh, see, if it was coming in white, I want to have Midnight Sun in white, but not with that book cover. I don't
Yeah.
like the new one.
Let me see Midnight Sun.
Maybe Little Brown. Look at Little Brown, the publishing.
Yeah, let me go. No, I don't know where I saw it. Maybe it was on Facebook or something. You know what I think it was in? I think it was in one of the shit posting groups I'm on Facebook. And I think they posted it. So I don't know if they like took a screenshot, but I can't find it right now.
Dang.
Dang. But anyways, I think that I'm pretty sure that is coming. So
On you're doing a
in
box set, so
yeah. So just in case you guys don't have a box set and if you're a fan of the new covers, that's
yeah.
happening
I
in
mean,
case.
the box sets are generally, if you're interested in the series, if you're that person who knows you like the series but doesn't have the books, then box sets are definitely better because they're kind of cheaper, especially if they're
Mhm.
say like you get a box set, say it's like 7 books and it's a $50 box set, then it's like, you know,
That's
most
pretty
books are
good.
like
Yeah.
$10 a piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who you haven't read the series and you don't know if you like it, maybe just get the first book first.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a fan of box sets if it's like your first like if you like know that you're gonna like really like if it's something that you like. But like personally for me, I just like collecting any Twilight book. Like my mom
Yeah.
went to the thrift store today and she found Breaking Dawn and Eclipse. The Eclipse had no cover, but Breaking Dawn did. And I was like, can I have them? And she was like, you literally have like five. Why do you like? She was like, you have five of each copy. Why do you need them? And I'm like, I just like collecting the books because sometimes like you find people's like notes in them, or you find like a bookmark, or you like, and it's just like I don't know, it's just like so personal. I think just to
Yeah.
collect them.
I had already got it, I had already did the movie covers and I had the movie cover of Breaking Dawn in the part one movie cover. And I was like done with it. But then I went to another second in Charles and I found that's Breaking Dawn, but with the part two movie cover, which I heard they don't have a lot of. So I was like, oh, I
Hmm.
gotta grab it.
Yeah, I have all four. I don't know. I don't know if my Breaking which movie cover my Breaking Dawn is. I'd have to check, but I have all of them, and I need a new shelf already. I
Yeah,
just
I have
need,
3 different areas of just Twilight books because
y-
my bookshelf, I like decided to not put them on my bookshelf. I was like, okay, we're just gonna make 3 little shrines.
yeah, that's basically what I have to do. But okay, guys, our topic today is going to be about the well, like the women in Twilight, like the feminism, just Stephanie Meyer and her Stephanie Meyer ways.
Yeah, we're just gonna basically give our thoughts, opinions, and dissect why all the women in Twilight have horrible backstories and why most of them.
Yeah, like
Damn it, it
we
froze.
yeah, you froze a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
There you go. Okay, now I can see you.
Yeah, you're good.
I don't know where it cut me off at.
Uh you were saying a deep dive into why all the women in Twilight and then continue.
Why they have tragic, horrible backstories and why all of them are written to be, most of them are written to be bitches.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
Like
we gotta
if
talk about that.
if they're not given terrible backstories, then they're
Horrible.
like bitches. Yeah, basically. And if they're not bitches, then they have like a terrible backstory, or they're both. Like it's like they're
Like Leah and Rosalie are both, and
yeah,
Jane.
and Victoria, because like you know, and
Yeah,
you like she just the women of Twilight were done dirty and they deserve justice, I
and
think.
it's like, did Stephanie write them on purpose like this, or was it internalized misogyny?
Yeah. And I think that's always something that like I've questioned about certain like there are certain things that people judge Twilight for like the Jasper being the Confederate soldier. You know,
Yeah,
where I try to think, okay, is she doing this for like historical accuracy? You probably not. But part of you wonders like what was like her thinking behind this? Like were there just like no thoughts and it was just like I would just love to have been
what was
like
she thinking?
yeah, like what
I want to
like
be the little, I want to be the little like voice in her head when she's writing Twilight. Like, what did you think you're
yeah,
doing?
because like I guess if you're gonna make Jasper from the South, a historically accurate thing would be that someone who was his age from where he would likely be a Confederate soldier. But then you take it to the next step and say that he lied so that he could be in the Confederacy. So it's like, why not just stop it at like why not just stop it at he was from the South and was a Confederate soldier. She could even made Jasper like a hero or like give him this like hero and said that he was in the Confederate soldier but didn't agree with MIA like all and like when he was MIA that's when he met Maria like all these like they could have like she could have really knelt that in like he's really like this social justice warrior kind of character rather than like he's a racist.
She made him proud of where he did, and it's like, sis.
Yeah, but then also this is somehow turned into just like a Jasper thing. But but then she gets Jasper and she makes him this person whose superpower is to feel and control emotions. So to me, someone who can feel and can control emotions is not someone who would lie about their age to join the Confederate Army who is pro slavery.
Yeah.
Because if they were feeling the emotions and were very in tune with emotions, could they not see that that was bad for the people involved? Like that
I mean,
doesn't make sense.
I knew Twilight had a lot of inconsistencies, and I know it was Stephanie Meyer's first work, but God, I mean, she could have literally found a what do they call like if only she had beta readers from like a whole bunch of different like backgrounds.
Yeah, so we have in drama, whenever we are doing a show, we have like dramaturgies, and their job is to like do the background and like make connect like historical background, things like that. She needed someone like that who could like proofread and just been like, okay, like someone who's like really into like lore or like, like world making. Like she really needs to like consult with someone to help with this, like someone who would have sat down and read it and analyzed and asked all the question. But if you think about it, Stephanie Meyer messed herself up when she went and decided to do the illustrated guide,
She
because
really
that's
did.
that's where we get a lot of our bullshit from. Because the problem with Twilight, which we've said, is it's very vague. It leaves a lot to question. So then I think the
Yeah.
illustrated guide really where she really kind of messed up. She could have just like didn't done an illustrated guide, but like, you know, maybe not, maybe on some of the background characters instead, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Or she
She
she had time to get her shit right for the illustrated guide and she didn't.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like she kind of just didn't understand her own lore that she created, which I
Yeah.
mean is understandable because this was her first ever like thing. She didn't expect to write a book series and that it was going to get well received and all that. But it's like maybe, I mean, I don't know, maybe she just continued reading, doing it, and didn't really look back on her previous, like when she started writing the series and then the illustrated guide, she really should have reread Twilight so she could remember what else she said.
Yeah, like okay, so the way that I think about it is that like the illustrative guide should have been something that is written before the book. Like maybe not all
Like,
of it, but that should have been like something similar to like what we have written down for ours is,
yeah,
I guess that is our illustrated guide.
yeah, it's our outline. It's the Bible.
Yeah,
It is
it's like our like exactly. And so it's like that should have been something before. And I wonder if she even had something like that. Probably not.
Nah. I think she said in an interview, like as soon as she woke up, she wrote down the meadow scene that she remembered, and then it's like then she wrote the end of the book, and then she wrote the beginning. So she didn't even like comprehend it. She just kept going was off the top of her head. And I was like, I mean,
Yeah.
okay, but
Which leads us to probably a lot of our issues with, about the women in Twilight is if you look at any of them, any woman in Twilight or female character, they all have either very tragic backstories, either as to how they were raised or even like how they were turned, or they're also portrayed as these like as like bitches or like they're evil. I think the only person who's not really portrayed as evil like in the women is like Esme, or
Angela.
Alice, Angela. But they also like Angela is one of the characters that probably has like the least kind of like terrible backstory and like isn't made out to be this like complete bitch. She's like a friend, but then she also does make her like really shy and quiet and timid and like doesn't speak up for herself and stuff like that, which is okay because that's like an accurate representation of like a high school student. Like that's okay.
Yeah.
So that one's not too terrible, you know. But then on the other hand, for someone who like is not also portrayed as a bitch is Alice, Alice, even though she's not portrayed, she's actually portrayed as a friend, as someone who's very caring, very loving. She's has a terrible backstory.
Yeah.
First of all, I think she was born and raised in Mississippi.
Yeah. Biloxi.
First of all, what in the racists? Like what?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I love Alice, but at the same time, I know damn well if she was born in the 1900s in Biloxi, Mississippi, that she was racist. And I mean, I understand now kind of a little bit why Stephanie Meyer would be against Catherine Hardwicke trying to portray Alice as Asian, because she's supposed to be in Biloxi, Mississippi in the 1900s, and damn well there were no Asian people around them.
Yeah,
I don't,
no.
at least I don't think so. And if they were, they would not be treated good.
Yeah, no. I mean, I guess like that would have gone better with her, maybe her story then. Basically, Alice's backstory is that while she was growing up, she always had premonitions, but people thought she was crazy for these premonitions, and they put her in a mental hospital because she was having like these premonitions that someone was stalking her, or like she was being like followed or chased, which she was by James, this fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like I don't get
Yeah.
this. I don't get his deal, but
Homie just doesn't rest for one day.
I know he's just like always on the go. He's like, oh, there's a girl, gonna hunt her. Basically, that's what
Yeah.
James. I mean, he's a hunter, right? But like, it's still like, come on, give it a break, okay?
Yeah. And it's like Alice had a premonition of her mother being killed, and she saw that the man who killed her mother was hired by her dad. And then so it's like her dad is the one that put her in the mental asylum. So then,
Yeah, so she's in the mental asylum. Also, like in the dark, I know we get that from Midnight Sun that the reason that Alice could not remember a lot of her transition and stuff like that, or not her transition, but like her
her human
life,
life.
her human life, was
Yes.
because she was in the dark in the mental asylum,
And
which
when she underwent electroshock therapy.
yeah. And so that's sad. Like, what the heck?
That's
Okay.
like horrible.
That's terrible.
You
And
know, my I don't know if it's canon. I don't think it's true, but my favorite head canon about Alice after she wakes up from being turned is that she did, feed on humans once she, was turned and broke free, and that the first people she accidentally fed on, not without realizing it, was her father and his mistress.
I don't think I remember. I don't remember that, but that would have
It's a
been
head. It was a head canon that I saw on Tumblr, and that's like my favorite head canon because I was like, yes, yes,
revenge. Yeah. And yeah, so basically Alice was there was a I think like a guy at the asylum who was a vampire and was protective of her,
yeah.
and knew that she was being chased and hunted down by this guy, and this guy's power was to control time. He had a super I remember
I did not
seeing,
know.
you remember the storytellers, they did like the clips.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he slowed time down or did something to give her time to change into a vampire. And
That's a
and
badass. That's a badass superhero power.
literally, yeah. And I'm pretty sure he was killed by James.
Yeah, James killed him out of anger for denying Alice's
Yeah.
blood.
And then Alice was a vampire. And then she's portrayed as this lovely person, maybe a little bit of a pushover.
Alice is kind of manipulative. She like pressures Bella into things that Bella is like obviously not comfortable with.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love Alice, but I will be the first person to say she is kind of manipulative.
Yeah, she is. But I think that people look past that for Alice.
Yeah.
And so then you get, Esme also portrayed as this like lovely person. Maybe like too, I mean, maybe I'm like her downfall is maybe like that she's too lovely. Like
She's
she doesn't really play like,
very trusting.
yeah.
And it's like, I mean, but then it's also like she has a very big maternal instinct. So it's kind of understandable. I do think that one thing that Esme is like conned for is how she was kind of okay with Bella. I mean, with Edward killing Bella if it meant her family was safe.
Yeah.
But But then it's also like she wanted Edward to be happy, and if Edward was happy with Bella, then she was number one support.
Yeah. Well, and then she has like an also like tragic backstory. Basically, she was like she had a stillbirth and she
Oh
was
no,
well,
her baby survived. He died 3 days later from a fever.
yeah. I always yeah. So her baby died 3 days later, but also she had like a very abusive. She was in a very abusive relationship, a marriage, um, and then she had a baby, gave birth. Her baby died 3 days later, and she jumped off a cliff
Yeah,
to
an attempt
unalive.
to commit suicide.
Yeah, to unalive herself.
Yeah, and then Carlisle found her in the morgue because I thought she was dead, but then he heard the faint heartbeat and he changed her. And he had recognized her because he had helped her with a broken leg like when she was 16. Because
Yeah.
Esme is physically the oldest because she was physically 26.
Mhm.
But yeah. Sorry, sorry. I'm like in charge of getting tickets for Spider-Man No Way Home when they drop tonight. And my friend just texted me about it. So
No, you're fine.
yeah.
But yeah, so and then so it's terrible backstory. I'm trying to think of, Rosalie also has a very bad backstory, but then Rosalie just gets punched like over and over. Like she's like just hit from all angles of this.
Yeah.
Like Stephanie Meyer hates women. Like
It's like I true like of all because I wrote down all of the women I could think of that we know context of their backstory because there's people like Renata and Corinne of the Volturi who we don't really know much about, and we don't know a lot about Carmen. But one thing about but I wrote down all the women I could think of that we know some context of, or we have an understanding of how poorly they're portrayed, and 5 of them that I have written down have backstories that have abuse in them. That's a big number for the amount of women in the Twilight universe.
Yeah, I wonder. I guess maybe some of the side characters aren't like super developed, but like, are those the women that aren't gonna have terrible, tragic backstories?
Exactly. I mean, we don't know much about Kate, Tanya, and Irena, but we don't know their backstories. But from just like the way Bella talked about them, and then with the illustrated guide, and the kind of the way Edward described them, and how they kind of were portrayed as slut shamed because they were known as succubuses who preyed on men.
Yeah, and they were also like they were. I think the way that they were portrayed also in the books, like the vibe that I got is that they are very like snobby,
Yeah,
like nose in the air.
they
Like
portrayed
don't
them
look
better in the movie.
Yeah, for sure. But in the books, it's very like not good. Also, the same thing for Chauvin is that she's portrayed as this well, she first of all, she's like our plus size queen in the saga. Very voluptuous lady.
Love her.
Love her. But she's also portrayed as this person who's like judging Carlisle and cunning and so it's just like I don't get it with I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand what Stephanie Meyer.
And you got Lauren and Jessica, the humans of the bunch, who are portrayed as that they're jealous and mean, and it's just like anyone who wasn't. It's like the people who liked Bella, they had maybe some flaws, but most of the women were written to not like Bella, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Basically, you know what? Maybe it is. Maybe okay. So if we're gonna think of Bella as a self-insert character, which is what I think Stephanie Meyer intended, basically. Maybe that's.
I just gotta say, if she hadn't written Twilight and this was a fanfic, I would have thought this was self-insert with Gerard Way.
Yeah. Honestly. But so that my next point is that we all know that Bella is written to be, very clumsy. And, Bella has her own thing. We also, in our previous episode, the Renee episode, we talked about how Bella also, at first glance, doesn't have a tragic backstory. Like, but really, she does, because Renee sucks.
Yeah,
And she has anxiety and depression and all these
and
other,
abandonment.
and abandonment and all these things, right? But if I'm curious that if she is a self-insert character, if maybe these are just Stephanie's experiences.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be surprised.
Like maybe like she just, well, growing up, she was this awkward, clumsy girl. Well, I don't know anything about her parental situation. I don't want to speculate, but
Yeah.
maybe there's some truth to it, possibly, like hidden a little bit. But I think she loves her mom. I think she loves her mom because she like
We're all Midnight
dedicated.
Sun
Yeah,
for her mom.
exactly. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe not there, but like, okay. But then also, like maybe just growing up, she got along with guys more and girls didn't like her a lot or something. That's a thing. So
It
maybe she
is
just kind of took that teenage experience and kind of just transferred it to Bella. Like she's like the new kid in school. All the boys like her, but like none of the girls don't like her because and that's a very teenage thing, right? Like for
Yeah.
there to be that, at least for the human, like the human aspect of it. Now we know Rosalie is portrayed as this like terrible person, like that she hates Bella. She Rosalie doesn't his character doesn't really turn around until like the babe
Freaking
till yeah, till Renesmee.
Yeah. I mean, in Eclipse, after she shared her story in Eclipse with Bella, there was more of like an understanding between the two of why um Rosalie doesn't like her.
Hmm.
But it wasn't until Renesmee that Rosalie actually kind of like her and Bella became friends.
Yeah, because at that point it's like she can't really be mad because it already happened, like
And they're married, and like
they're
that's just
married. and
grandma.
and then at the same time also like Rosalie, when Rosalie, everyone sees Rosalie as a bitch, but like her downfall is that she just wanted her family to like be safe.
Yeah,
Not,
and I mean, it's like she sees Bella, who's a human, has has her father, has her mother, has the ability to grow old and have a family and experience life. And it's like she sees that, and she sees that Bella is willing to give it all away for Edward. And I mean, I gotta say, I kind of agree because I mean, I know I wouldn't give anything up for a man. And so Rose is like, don't you dare.
I
And
mean, if it was of a vampire, I think I said this in the podcast before. I really love vampires. Like that's just like I just like them. I think if I found a vampire and he was like, I want to turn you into a vampire, please come run away with me, I'd be like, okay,
I
goodbye.
mean, yeah. I mean, I probably would do the same with a superhero.
Yeah,
So, but it's like she sees that Bella has all these opportunities that she no longer can have, and it just pokes a nerve in her heart. Like,
yeah,
why?
yeah. Basically, she's
You know,
like, well,
so
what's that?
say what you gotta say, what you want, and then I gotta say
But
something.
but that's Rosalie's like the tragic backstory, is that like she felt like she was robbed of her human experience, which she was. But I think Rosalie would have rathered have this sounds terrible, but Rosalie would have rather had died in that
Yeah.
alley than to have been a vampire for the rest of her life
Yeah.
and never be able to experience. Because even if you think about the time that she's from, like that was like it, like that was what you wanted to find a rich man to marry, have a baby, have babies, and grow old with that man, and
Yeah.
have
Be taken
like
care of.
be taken care of, yeah, like be a wife, be a mother. And
Yeah.
she didn't get to have that.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because okay, within the past couple months, with Twilight being on Netflix and all that, a lot of people have been watching the movie, and like some people have been watching it for the first time, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
like I watch people watching movies for the first time, like to
Mm-hmm.
watch their reactions, and I noticed a lot of them were doing Twilight. And it's always kind of like the moment they get to Rosalie's story in Eclipse, it's like they're like, wow, I used to not like her, but now she's my freaking favorite character. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yep, that's where it is.
Literally, that's literally. I mean, that's her turning point, I guess, for people to be like, oh, like maybe she's not like terrible after all. But like that's terrible for her to have that. I think if they made it more like her being cautious, but and especially in Midnight Sun, where you think
Oh
that we would see
God.
change, but in Midnight Sun, I feel like it makes Rosalie worse because we in Twilight, we just saw like in the books from Bella's, we just saw Twilight from Bella and how Rosalie, kind of how she was kind of scared of Rosalie. But at Midnight Sun, it's worse because she literally like does not talk to Edward, like literally hates him, says she's gonna destroy his cars. Like it's like she's like whining, is what it seems like in
Yeah.
Midnight Sun.
Yeah, it made me almost rethink of my life for Rosalie, but then I remembered, wait a minute, this is Twilight. We haven't seen her character development through Edward's point of view yet.
Yeah.
So,
And I do really love that at least Rosalie has, I guess, gets some relief in some way, shape, or form when Renesmee comes, and she's kind of like okay with everything. She gets to take care of Renesmee and help Bella with that. But also, like, I love that Emmett just like, although this is not the life that she wanted, because she even says like, I will never be able to sit on a porch with Emmett and
I
watch her.
know
I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that.
that
Oh,
I saw I saw on Tumblr a head canon that somebody wrote. It was like, what if Emmett saved Rosalie? And all that. Or it was like, what if Emmett was the one that found Rosalie and like took her to the hospital, and like Carlisle never came and saved. And then it just showed, it was just like a head canon someone wrote of like, oh, what if this life that happened between them. And I was crying by the end of it because it was all like right then and there, like they fell in love after he took her to the hospital so she could be taken care of, and she's like, wait, please don't leave me, like stay
well,
here.
see, and I think also like they were around this, like Emmett got turned shortly after Rosalie got turned. It wasn't a long span of time, like
Yeah,
it
it was
wasn't.
it was
So
like a
it's
year or
definitely
two.
plausible. Definitely something that would, and then I feel like Emmett would have killed what's his face.
Royce.
Yeah, he
We
would have killed Royce all anyways. Um, but yeah, so I'm like, I that makes me hurt for sure, but hurt for her, like that she can't have what she wants. But it
Yeah.
also like, I think it helps me to know that like Emmett is really like her person, and it just like, although she hates like being immortal, she has like that little like Emmett help, like because Emmett is one of the characters in the thing, doesn't really have a tragic back. He has a family, mother, sisters, brothers.
Yeah.
His
Homie
own
got mauled by a bear.
he just got, yeah, literally, that's it.
He got
And
mauled by a bear and he embraced vampire life immediately.
yeah, and I think that helps Rosalie because he's just like a like go with the flow type kind of guy, and I think Rosalie needs that.
Oh, and the fact that Stephanie Meyer or their publisher cut out the one scene in Twilight from the publishing print where it was like Emmett was telling Bella his backstory, like what happened with him. And he's like, I just remember waking up and I just saw this beautiful angel.
Hmm.
And I was like,
I love that. We'll see. Okay, so then if we move away from the Cullens, which is really all, I think we've talked about all of the female Cullens. And we can kind of move to Leah a little bit. So Leah is one of the characters that everyone I think has agreement that Stephanie Meyer, like aside from Rosalie, Stephanie Meyer has done Leah like dirty.
very.
So dirty. Like she it's just like she just, it's like when you kick someone when they're already down. She just does it over and over and over and over again.
Let's start off with the fact that she made Leah Sam's previous love interest, knowing, and then put them that they're distantly related, like they're second or third cousins.
Yeah. And
And
I
I'm
don't
just like,
I don't know if I don't like to I can't judge that all the way, only because we don't know if that is something that happens in very like in a small community like that. That's maybe something that happens.
I mean, true.
So
I don't
I
know.
don't
I just like when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, they're like related.
yeah. So that then I think all would have been fine maybe if she had just like she could have just made Sam imprint on Leah.
Exactly. Exactly. Why did he not imprint on Leah? Why did she? Because that's the thing. Sam went away when he phased. He like left the tribe so he can like figure this out. And then he comes back, and that's when he imprints on Emily. And it's just like, why?
Yeah, that's literally like the downfall of Leah from there. Is like he imprints on Leah's cousin,
Of all people.
of all people, Leah's cousin. So now Leah's mad because of that. She's like hates Sam, whatever, whatever. Then we don't really hear a lot about Leah until New Moon, or no, Eclipse.
Yeah,
Eclipse.
and they met,
Until
they switched it up because then it's like we know from reading the books what really happened with Harry Clearwater and how he passed, but then they switched it, and I'm just like, oh my god, she really did not go wrong.
yeah, and I think in both ways is just terrible, but either way her dad dies. But basically in the books what happens is that Leah ends up phasing in front of her dad. It scares the living crap out of him. It scares him to death.
It literally
Literally
did.
scares
It
him to
sent him
death.
to a heart attack.
Yeah, he had a heart attack because Leah phased in front of him. And so she killed her dad. Jesus Christ.
That was diabolical on
That
Stephanie's
sounds
part.
so bad when you think about it.
That was so horrible.
So now Leah, who just killed her dad,
Yeah.
and whose little brother is also now phasing, is now in the same pack and has to be and has to answer to her ex-boyfriend who broke up with her because he phased on her cousin.
Yeah. And she hears him in
And she hears all his thoughts.
And on top of that, the phasing stopped her period. So she doesn't even know if she's allowed to have kids, and she doesn't know if she can imprint.
So
that we've already talked about this in previous, right in the beginning of our podcast. I remember we talked about this because we were talking about like hybrids, and it's like, what if Leah, because I kind of ship her with Felix, and it's like, what if? But it's like we don't even know if she can imprint.
Yeah, which I think so. I wouldn't be so mad if she couldn't imprint if she could still have babies.
Yeah,
but if she can't have babies and she can't imprint, it's almost maybe the perfect opportunity for her. She's already breaking away from Sam's pack to maybe adventure off and fall in love like elsewhere. She can almost lead a normal life, but then you have the issue that she can't have babies. But that's kind of like the perfect segue into her finding a vampire boyfriend.
Or she's gay.
Or that she's gay, exactly.
Yeah. One of the two. I don't care.
Yeah, either or. But hey, it's like the perfect segue for one of either of those things to happen. It's tragic for her, but there should be no reason that she cannot imprint, because the imprinting is Well, no, there you go.
No,
That's what it was, because imprinting is so that they can, make the s-
baby.
the babies, and like, for the future of the tribe, and make the tribe stronger.
The illustrated guide literally has imprinting with the imprinter being a he and the imprintee being a she. Like the wolf has no choice but to protect her. And I'm like, okay, well, are you
But
establishing? Go ahead.
this is what I was gonna say, was that since maybe she cannot imprint, and it's like official, it just like unsaid, because if she does not get a period, she can have babies. Therefore, she cannot continue the future of the tribe. Therefore, she cannot imprint. So at this point, I think what Stephanie Meyer needs to do is establish these two things.
In a
Maybe
better
she,
way.
in a better way, like make it more clear. Either, if she can't, if she can, like, make it clear whether or not she can get pregnant or not. I assume if it says that she does not get her period, it's probably assumed that she cannot get pregnant.
Yeah.
And if she cannot get pregnant, then she cannot imprint, because that is what imprinting is for. And so, for all those people out there that say that Jacob and Renesmee are an innocent couple, no, because imprinting in the illustrated guide literally says that it's to make babies, basically.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
read, yeah, when you read between the words, read between the lines, it's what it is for.
Yeah.
So,
They've established it in a romantic light, and that's what makes it gross.
yeah,
The
exactly.
the course it's taking is not platonic. If it was taking a more platonic course, then by all means, yeah, we would all be okay with it because they could be like platonic soulmates. But then Jacob can go be happy with someone his age. Renesmee
Mhm.
can find someone in the future when she's of age.
I really think that Renesmee is gonna find someone of her own age, or whatever age. I'm saying age because it could be a vampire, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but I honestly think that Jacob is gonna be friend zoned again.
Yeah, and that's kind of horrible, but at the same time, it's oh, oh, going back to Leah, you know who this ship came up to me, and low key, I kind of wish we saw it because they're around the same age, and it could have, if we were gonna give Leah a vampire boyfriend,
Hmm.
what if what if somehow Riley survived and those two hit it off?
I could see that.
Like he's
The,
from Forks, they're around the same age.
hmm
It would have he would have been, upset being betrayed by Victoria if he somehow survived and decided I want a different path. Like I wish I kind of ship Leah with Riley, if not with Felix, or she's gay. That's also I want her with a girl also.
Yeah, I want her. I think it'd be interesting for her to be with a Volturi member. I think it'd also be interesting if, what if, what if for Leah's future she could turn into a villain.
Ooh. I mean, that's just gonna set my bi panic off.
It, first of all, I think Stephanie Meyer set it up that, well, we see how she has the females in the books. She doesn't really portray them in the best light. What if she, Leah band together with that, what's his name, the creepy guy from Bree Tanner?
Fred,
What if she teamed up with Freaky Fred and became a villain?
I would say karma on Sam. Be ready.
Yeah. Oh my God, imagine if Leah killed Sam.
That'd be so juicy.
That'd be kind of iconic.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Stephanie.
Okay. So Leah, I think, is by far done like the most dirty in this entire thing.
And then it's like she's also
By
portrayed to be upset, like pissed off with Bella because she sees how Bella is stringing Jacob along while knowing she's going to be with Edward. And she just feels like that's what's going on with me because it's like with Sam and Emily.
Yeah, basically. But so then I was going to talk about Emily next, because although Emily doesn't really have, her backstory, I guess it's maybe like a little, it's not like tragic, it's traumatizing, I think.
It's
But basically,
traumatizing.
you know, she got with her cousin's boyfriend. And then I think like,
She wasn't happy about it at first.
yeah, but then she embraced it with open arms and became the
Yeah.
wolf girl as we know her. But I think
Yeah.
I don't know what the situation was, but apparently I think her and Sam lost control of his anger.
Oh, it was they were discussing about Emily had found out about the imprint and how he broke Leah's heart and she was upset with him.
And so he got angry
Got very angry.
and phased and scratched her face, which is like, is that domestic abuse? I think so.
He really Stephanie might really put a really gray area with this, but I think it is.
Right? Because even like Jacob says in New Moon, like, I can never lose control with you, or some bullshit like that. And he
Yeah.
says something like that, and Bella's like, it's okay, you won't, or some, I don't know. Maybe she tells that to both Edward and Jacob, just in different forms, different
Yeah.
ways. Like Jacob says something like, I don't want to hurt you, or I don't know, the whichever, like Edward and Jacob are basically the same person, just different fonts.
Yeah.
Like they're the same person, different fonts, literally. Jacob is like the font that's like really like thick, you know, like big, like the chunky font, like that one. That's Jacob. And then Edward is like the really like nice and fancy. So like basically is what it is that all of Jacob's flaws are like grabbed and fucking like thrown at Bella, but all of Edward's are like wrapped in a pretty bow and like given to her as a present. You know,
Literally.
that's literally what
Like,
it
oh my,
is.
like, oh my God, he's stalking me and watching me sleep. How romantic. Jacob makes one little comment about how this, that, and the other, and like, stop it, you're trying to control me.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, imagine if Bella had found out that Jacob was sneaking into her room and watching her sleep every night. I think she would probably kick his ass.
She would.
Literally, she would.
I
I
mean,
mean, but
didn't she say like before Jacob phased and he, gained like 200 pounds of muscle? Weren't they
mhm,
like the same height and like kind of thing? Like Bella felt confident she could take him in a fight.
yeah, basically, yeah. So like literally that's what it is. It's just like the same person, same pro and I've said this before in a previous episode that I literally think that the Quileute tribe or like the wolf pack and the Cullens kind of like mirror each other. You
Yeah.
know, basically with Jacob is Edward, Edward is Jacob. You have
Paul is Emmett.
Paul is Emmett, Sam, I
Leah's
think
Rosalie.
Sam would be Carlisle in this situation. Alice is literally Seth. Seth and
Yeah.
Alice. Literally them. Um Kiowa. Kiowa's character would be, I don't
I would
know,
say Embry is like Jasper in the sense that
Jasper.
reserved,
Yeah.
quiet. Yeah. And then
I'm
Emily would be Esme.
literally
So yeah.
literally literally the same thing. I'm like, hello. Great,
Yeah.
great, great thinking on your part, Stephanie Meyer. And if you think
Oh,
about it, basically, I mean, like the two, I mean, and their stories don't exactly reflect, but they are very similar. And it's like, I wonder, like, could she not have thought about any other backstory for any of the female characters besides abuse and the R word and unaliving themselves and depression? And like, I'm like, come on.
I mean, literally, and if you also it doesn't stop there with the Cullens and Leah. You got Jane from the
Hmm.
Volturi, who was burnt at the stake at 12 years old, and I think even it's written that her father was abusive, and they were
Yeah,
bullied and ostracized by the town because her and Alec were twins, and that was seen as
like witch. Yeah.
unnatural. Yeah.
Yeah. And see that one, see if let's say that there was very few of these like very tragic backstories to the women. I kind of slip it as being like historically accurate, one of those
Yeah.
types of things. But the fact that there's like that one and then this one and 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 like the list goes on and on, I feel like is like the scary part. Renee sucks ass. Like we've
Renee's
established Renee's terrible, but like the same thing. Like
and then
why couldn't have Bella had like a supportive mother who like let her go and like didn't move like too far away, or I don't know, like just little things in this.
yeah,
The women of Twilight need justice,
yeah.
and I think that
You
Stephanie
got Victoria.
mm-hmm.
We haven't even gotten into Victoria, and like her
No,
freaking backstory
she literally
is
runs
just
this. Yeah, she's literally like a villain for 3 movies, basically.
yeah.
Mar-
She says literally nothing in the first, like we didn't even hear her speak until Eclipse in the books.
mm-hmm.
And we didn't know much about her, but it's like
Well,
you
see,
find out.
okay. So then in Twilight in Midnight Sun, we learn that Victoria is a little bit more submissive than she's portrayed as in the movie. Like in the movie, she's kind of portrayed very like
Like a
like bad,
dominate.
yeah, bad. But in there, she's kind of like a little more timid, I think.
And yeah, and I
In
think that has
Midnight
to do with
Sun.
her backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Victoria was the daughter of a wealthy kind of man in the, like 1500s, but she was his illegitimate daughter with a maid, and then she became a
Mm-hmm.
maid, and then it's like he abused her, and she had to like, the reason why she's so good at like escaping and like tying off threats was when she had to like protect herself back then.
Well, see,
So
and so then literally, yeah, that's why it's like in Midnight Sun, we learned that she's more cautious of like when confronting them at the baseball scene. I think even at some point she says like, "Let's go." There's too many of them, but James is like, "I don't give a fuck," freaking James.
yeah, yeah, I think it's like, because I think it's, and it makes me wonder, like, because James tracked Victoria, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's like then he stopped tracking her because he found her intriguing, and then that's when she kind of let her guard down, because it's like his confidence and all that is what attracted her to him. And I'm just so like, girl, if your literal gift is self-preservation, wouldn't you be able to tell if he's going to be your downfall, which he literally
Mm-hmm.
was. He
Yeah.
died because he like was overconfident, and then she spent 2 movies trying to get back at them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, girl, he did it to himself.
Yeah, basically. I mean, if he and maybe it was more of like she wasn't mad that James got killed, but was more mad that James did not find her interesting anymore.
That is kind of true. She probably was jealous of Bella that he caught her eye, because it
Mm-hmm.
was the same with Alice.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you wonder, like, if Victoria was a human when he started tracking her, would it have went the same? Because
Mm-hmm.
Victoria was already like, changed when he started tracking her, because he was just
Yeah.
all like, how is she getting away from me?
Mm-hmm. So I mean, and then and then we have the like to me like the most like the worst backstory of all, which also hurts Marcus, is Diddy Me.
Oh,
I'm so upset by that.
she she didn't even see it coming.
She did it. Basically, for those of you that I think we talked about it in a previous episode, but if you didn't listen, Aro had a sister named Diddy, who was also a vampire. Aro got turned, and like his whole family was basically is what Aro it seemed like what he did.
And her gift was to, I think, invoke happiness.
Yeah. So
She made
kind of
people around her happy. Like,
yeah.
that's so sweet.
And imagine, because like Marcus is so depressed, and it's probably because like when he was around her, he was just always happy. And like
No.
and then she died and then he's not happy anymore. Someone kill me. Oh my god, that's so sad.
It blows my mind that Aro, when he found out Marcus and his sister wanted to leave, he killed his sister, his
And not
own blood.
Marcus.
Exactly. He killed his own blood
I'm
over
like,
Marcus.
what is Marcus? I don't I look, I love my unproblematic king Marcus, but what does he bring to the
Bush
table?
Bonds.
Huh? What did you say?
It was Marcus can, like, tell bonds. So it's like he can tell if someone is truly loyal to someone.
Oh
And that's
yeah.
why Marcus was more valuable get in like gift wise in giving Aro power. He chose
Dang.
power over blood.
Yeah. So basically, for those of you that maybe are a little confused, Marcus and Demi were in love. They were happy and together and just the cutest. And they wanted to leave the Volturi and go get married and live together somewhere forever and travel the world or do whatever their happy little
Yeah.
hearts wanted to do. And Aro did not want to see Marcus leave because he needed his power. So he killed Didymi, his sister, and uses one of the Volturi members. I don't remember which one. Is it what's their
Kelsey.
name? Yeah. Their power is to like
She
what is
can
their
like influence bonds. So
yeah. So
it's yeah.
so Marcus can sense bonds, but this person can influence them. So basically, um Aro told Marcus that she died, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. He
And
said that I think Didymi was killed in an attack.
yeah. And and then I think Marcus also wanted to probably die after that too, I would imagine. And then but they used that person for their power and influenced him to want to stay there and be loyal to Aro and the
Yeah.
Volturi.
Yeah. We don't know, and like she's the only one who we know that much about. We don't know much about Sulpicia and Athena Dora. However, they become gatekeep, gaslight, girl. What is it? Girl, is it gatekeep or
Gas
gaslight first?
it's
They
gatekeep.
become they become gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss in Life and Death. When we
Mm-hmm.
find out that in Life and Death, which is the if y'all are new here, don't know, Life and Death is the gender bend version of Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they Sulpicia got found Mealy, who can like transfer powers and stole Aro's gift, and then she and Athenadora ruled the Volturi while they killed the others.
Which is like good for them.
Good for them.
At least
Honestly, I kind of want Stephanie to go that route in the upcoming books. Like, come on, you did it in Life and Death. Like, why can't this be canon?
also I want to say that in Life and Death, I feel like the backstories, since they're kind of twisted a little bit because they're gender bent, make it seem less worse.
Yeah, yeah, because it's all like Rosalie was royal and Royal was killed by the lover of his fiance. And then no, Archie still had
Yeah,
Alice's.
Alice's backstory is still terrible there. But Archie's
Same with
amazing. I
Ernest.
love Archie.
Yeah. I love her. And then Ernest, who was Esme, it was changed that, which honestly kind of sucked because it's like Ernest's daughter was actually like older
Mhm.
than what Esme's son was. Like he said that his daughter was, I think, like 3-4 years old when she died.
Whenever I was reading Life and Death, um I couldn't get past the fact that Carlisle was a female and that I don't even remember, and that Esme's character was a male. So the way that I kept imagining them was that
Oh God.
Carlisle's character, which is what's the name in Life and Death?
Corinne.
Corinne was this like
Was it Peter Facinelli with
N-
long blonde hair?
no, to me, I imagine them as a gay couple, Corinne and what's his face
And Ernest?
and Ernest. Like that's just how I kept them. I could not imagine them any other way because
Oh my gosh.
I don't.
Keep talking.
No, I was just saying that that's just how I saw them. I saw them as like a gay couple that were just like in love.
Uh I the way I pictured Corinne was I kept envisioning um hold on, I'm trying to that's a better picture. Do you know who have you ever seen Gone Girl?
Maybe turn your brightness down. Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen Gone Girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kept picturing her because she's British and Carlisle is British. So Corinne would have been British. I That's who I kept picturing as Corinne.
You know what? I think Corinne definitely pegs Ernest. I'm gonna put it out there
Oh, for sure.
for
Oh,
sure,
for sure. For
thousand
sure.
percent. It has to have like it's just I
I
just see
mean,
it.
that I mean, definitely pegs and Corinne is a top.
Yeah, 100%. But
I kept picturing Corinne, that Rosamund Pike, but also with Elizabeth Reeser's Esme.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was hard for me to disconnect that pairing. All the other ones I think were fine. I love Archie so much.
Oh my god, this is who I pictured as art. Do you know who Colby Brock is?
It sounds familiar.
He's a YouTuber who does like a lot of exploring videos.
Oh no
Um,
no no. I will tell you who I imagined for.
this is who I imagine as
Oh, I
Archie.
love that. Let me find the guy that I imagined for him.
Like, oh, he's exactly who I would, just with the buzz cut, kind of, or with shorter hair.
Let me show you. If I can, I don't even know his name. But when I was reading it, this is who I imagined. I'm trying to think of what movie he comes out in. Oh my gosh, I can't even think about it. I have to find it. Hold on. If not, it's gonna be stuck with me forever. I'm not gonna be able to figure it out. What movie was he in? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose it.
You
I
know
don't
who I pictured as Jessamine
who.
recently, as I reread when I reread Life and Death. I pictured Jessamine as Victoria Peretti, who played Nell in Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, I love that. I like that one. Okay,
Like,
this is okay. Figured it out, and I'm gonna show you, and maybe you're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, I see it." But whenever I thought about Archie, I always imagined Ezra Miller, but with
yes, okay, yes, I love him. Well, I love
mhm,
them. Sorry, oops, them. Yes, I
yeah,
love them. I could
I
picture, I could picture them as Archie.
yeah, that's who I imagined the entire time, and mainly for mainly because of their role in Fantastic Beasts.
Yes,
Because
Credence.
they had like the little bowl cut, and if Archie didn't have a buzz cut, I could imagine Archie having like a very fashionable bowl cut, like something that works.
Yeah, and like Ezra Miller has that personality. I
Hmm.
mean, especially, oh my god, I love them in Perks of Being a Wallflower.
That's the movie I was thinking about too. When I was like, what movie were they in? That was it.
I mean, now they're mostly known now as Credence from Fantastic Beasts and also Flash
Yeah.
from Justice League. But I just think of their character from Perks of Being a Wallflower. That's the personality they would do with Archie.
Yeah, that's who I imagined for it. And I was just that was stuck in my head the whole time.
Oh, I might start picturing them as Archie now instead of Colby. Probably I'll be sometimes whenever I'm reading, I switch my face claims. So I'm just gonna picture half of them, half of Colby.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a fan edit of the Twilight poster, but of for Life and Death, and do the characters that I think that I see in that role.
Oh my god, who did I picture as Bo? I see it's kind of switch. I think
I
now
see Finn
the
Wolfhard, but with it has I that or Noah, what's his name? Noah, what?
Sin.
No, is it Noah Miller or Noah Schnapp?
Oh, okay, yeah. I also picture oh my god.
Like
Fudge, what
that looks like a little like a bow. But you know why I think of Bo like that? Because there's an account on Instagram called Bo Forks Swan or Bo Fork Swan, and they look like Noah Snap. Look,
oh my gosh.
that's Bo, and they're a Bo cosplay account,
Oh my god.
and he's like perfect.
This is Corbin from Why Don't We? I've pictured him. He's got blue eyes, but with the flash, it doesn't
Mm.
look like that. But he who I've been using
Oh yeah, I
as
forgot because Bo
face
has blue
claim.
eyes.
Yeah. So that he's who I've been picturing as the claim for recently.
I can see that.
Or I just do like young Sebastian Stan.
Oh, that man. I can't deal with him. He's too much for me. He's just so beautiful. Um, that is it, guys. Oh my goodness. Well, I think we touched on a lot of topics. What is the final consensus about Stephanie Meyer and the women of Twilight? One, we know that the women of Twilight need justice.
My final thoughts are I would not trust Stephanie to write me as a character.
Oh yeah, no.
um, I mean, I definitely now it probably could just be she based the personalities off of real life people she knew, but I
Mhm.
just think that with all of them, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like that thing where it's like if everyone doesn't like you, is that their problem or is it yours? So it's kind of
Yeah.
just like, why is that every female character that you've written besides like a handful don't like Bella?
Yeah. Bella's mom doesn't even like Bella.
That is foul, but it's true.
It's true. I think my final consensus is that Stephenie Meyer did the women of Twilight very dirty. And I think it would not be a surprise if it was like based on real life people because she did name, some of the characters after her family members. So like maybe,
Yeah.
there was like a bitchy person or two that she met at school, but I don't know about the rest.
Yeah.
'Cause that's a little concerning.
I just I mean, I am there's one thing about Rosalie's backstory. It's like I understand probably the way I understand the reason why she had the backstory she did was to kind of explain her bitter personality, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, why did you take it from one extent? It's like first you had her gang-ard, and then you had her beaten to death. It's like,
Mhm.
why you took it to a whole nother level?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like, she goes, and this is the thing for all her characters, even Jasper. She takes it to like one extreme, and it's like, whoa, like That's fucking crazy.
Oh my
And
god,
then
it's like that TikTok where like slice of pie, definitely. Oh,
no,
that's stop it.
oh my god, that's like with Leah. It's like, oh, that's
Oh god,
enough.
Leah, that's the whole freaking carton.
That's like throwing pies in her face. That's literally she's like takes it to one, and you're like, okay, like that's a little fucked up. And then she goes like boom, and you're like, oh my god, why did you just do that? Stephanie, Jesus. Oh
Like,
Lord.
so more of the story, guys. Stephanie Meyer, I guess, just does not know how to write women.
No, yeah. And you feel like it would be the opposite. 'Cause she is a woman.
Yeah.
Wow. I just
And it's kind of funny, I just finished a trilogy today. I finished the Renegades trilogy, which kind of has just I need more of that. But it's like I'm looking at the female characters in that story that are just, oh my god. And it's like comparing them to the female characters of Twilight, I'm just like, wow, this is the differences I could go into would take a whole episode, because I'm like, this is how you write a morally gray character with a traumatized backstory, but it's developed and it works.
yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, let us know what you think. Do you think that Stephanie Meyer did the women of Twilight wrong? Um, which your answer should be yes. Just tell
Yeah.
just give us your opinion on this whole little topic that we have here for you.
Yeah.
If you go over to our social medias to follow us, I think we think we've reached our goal for the end of the year. At least we had planned on having our goal was 100 followers on our YouTube for the end of the year, and we're at 101. So thank you. So let's make it 150 maybe. I don't know. That'd be amazing. Go follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. Also, let me and go follow us on our Spotify account also. We have 91 followers, so I think that it's very possible to do um 100 by the end of the year. And then we are at 700 streams, almost 200 listeners, and we're at almost 1,000 starts. So
And we're
let's
almost to 1,000 on TikTok.
yeah, so go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, at all the places you guys can possibly follow us. Please go do that
Yeah.
because we love you guys so much and we want to support. And we took a little bit of a pause on it, but hopefully by Christmas, well, I go on Christmas break soon in 3 weeks. So the goal for the new year is to put out merch next year. That's our new year goal, is to put out merch.
Yep.
I don't care if 5 people buy it. It's We love all 5 of you wholeheartedly. That's
Yeah.
I think for sure that this has always never really been about like us having tons of followers or anything like that. As much as it's literally just us to have an outlet to
Talking.
talking about Twilight.
Yeah.
So
It's just to talk about Twilight, give our opinions, and you know, all that
just
jazz. So if you're new, make sure you listen to all our other episodes. There's 30, so there's quite a bit you can follow up on.
yeah, is this 31? This one is 31, right?
Yep. And also, Raven and I went to Forever Twilight and Forks this year, and our vlogs are up on the
Yeah.
YouTube. So you guys
My
can go
Ree
watch
has
those.
lots of vlogs on them. I have one because I
I mean, it's mostly, see, my FTF one is strictly my Snapchat stories. It's
Yeah.
so bad. Like,
Mine
oh my
mine is
god.
just a lot of clips without context. I have a clip that did not make the cut, but may I'm like if we end up starting a Patreon next year, I will put this unforeseen Patreon clip. Or maybe
Oh
this
my god.
clip. It's basically the clip of me drunk at FTF at the fandom party.
Oh my you put the one clip in and like you said, "Hey guys," and you can hear my fucking laughter in the background, and I was
Yeah.
just like, "You got it." I was like, my laugh is so loud and obnoxious, I can't. And I heard that in the video. I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I was very there's a lot more to that clip, but I was like, oh no, I can't add that in. So I
I
took
I
that.
real I really wish I had gotten you when you said Bestie Jasper. I really wish I had gotten that.
Oh yeah, Bessie Jasper. I love Jasper. Well, the Olympic Coven Jasper cosplayer. He's
Yeah,
amazing. He's great.
he's iconic.
Yeah, he like bring he like he's like the total opposite of what Jasper is, but he's amazing. I love him so much. But yeah, I think that's it. Go follow us on our personal uh TikToks at Life Size Coraline and at Raven N Woods on TikTok. I am now Raven. I'm still Raven N Woods on Instagram and Life Size Coraline on Instagram also. So go follow us. Stay updated with us. Also, I will be going to the Pacific Northwest again in June, and I hope to record more of that. Maybe do an actual vlog this time for that event because it'll be a bigger trip. So if you guys want to see some of that Twilight related stuff, then just go follow me, and we'll hopefully be back at FTF next year too. So
Really hope.
if not, then hopefully we get to do something together sometime next year.
Yeah, I really hope. Hopefully, I'm saving. I'm saving money. Also, it's the 10th anniversary of Breaking Down Part 2. Like, we gotta get there.
I hope for the gala they do like the Volturi versus like something else so that you can like choose a side or what. That'd be so cool.
I got my Vittori necklace right there. I'm ready.
I have one too,
Sorry,
and
Helens.
I have my red contacts too, and I have the
Are
cape.
we
I'm ready.
are we still gonna do the one thing we kind of planned for FTF 2022? Siobhan and Maggie.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
My hair's getting longer, so I can easily get it permed if I have
So
to.
my goal is that well pretty soon here I'm gonna take away the blonde and make all my hair one color. Because I think when I had re-dyed these bits in the front back to like my normal hair color, I got like a too light of a brown, so I need a darker brown or like a almost blackish color. But I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
do it with box dye. Like I'm gonna get it with the toner and or the dye and the developer and all that stuff, so it's done correctly. But oh
Yeah.
shoot. But I'm hoping that by next FTF my hair, because Siobhan has really long hair, so I don't want to touch it, but if it's not long enough, I'll have to get a wig. But if it is, I want to like go ginger.
If you need wig recommendations, I got my red wig on Etsy, and it's like my red wig kind of looks pretty real from a distance, and
Mhm.
it feels nice. So I can like send you the shop that I got it from on Etsy, and it
Yeah,
wasn't
for
like
sure.
I got that wig for like $35.
Yeah, I just need to find something that Chauvin. I need to try to find her screen accurate worn thing because that'd be really cool.
That'd be so
Or just wear something similar, but I want to be like a modern version of Chauvin, you know?
And
So,
I think definitely like Siobhan would be that person to wear like, we saw how in Breaking Down Part 2, she wore like that like long kind of almost like shirt dress, and then she wore like
mhm.
pants.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll figure that out. We have lots to plan then, lots to do. But and we hope that you guys will be here with us along the way. So we will see you next time. We gotta go. It's a Sunday. Got work tomorrow.
It's
Uh
midnight almost for me.
oh yeah, it's just about to be 11 for me. So we both need to go to sleep. And we will see you guys next time. Whenever that may be. Hopefully in a week.
Yeah,
Hopefully. Yeah, like a week. Okay.
hopefully.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.